Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday morning, July the 8th. A very humid air mass remains in place across the Mid-Atlantic region and could be a contributing factor to severe weather later today. In addition, tropical downpours can cause flash flooding conditions. We have some very well saturated grounds already heading into the potential heavy rainfall for later today and tonight. And all indications are that the atmosphere will destabilize quite rapidly during the midday and early afternoon hours, leading to an outbreak of strong to severe thunderstorms in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, with the soupy air in place, any afternoon or evening thunderstorm in the Mid-Atlantic region can produce some tropical downpours and flash flooding. We're talking about places from D.C. to Baltimore to Philadelphia to New York City. The remainder of the week remains quite unsettled as well, with a series of disturbances coming this way. But today, the combination of an upper level trough and a slow moving surface frontal system will destabilize the atmosphere, produce upward motion this afternoon into the evening. The Storm Prediction Center at Norman, Oklahoma, within NOAA, also recognizes this threat here. They have a kind of a slight risk for severe weather later today and tonight, really all along that Mid-Atlantic's I-95 corridor region from Richmond to D.C. up to Philadelphia and New York City. Certainly can be some strong to severe thunderstorms all the way up to Boston and down I-95 to the Carolinas. Well, I wanted to kind of focus in on one particular parameter I like to look at with respect to severe weather possibilities. It's called the convective available potential energy, or the acronym is CAPE. And the higher the CAPE value, the more unstable the atmosphere is, especially in the lower and middle part of the atmosphere. This is the current situation with respect to CAPE. Again, the higher the CAPE values, the more unstable the atmosphere is. And already we're seeing here some, just disappeared on me. Already we're seeing here some fairly high values for the first part of the day along the eastern seaboard. Throw in some daytime heating, which will take place over the next few hours here, and these numbers will climb. In fact, we'll show a forecast model in a moment here that do just that, predict that the CAPE values will increase rather dramatically during the midday and afternoon hours. Again, we have some full sunshine here to begin the day on Tuesday in the Mid-Atlantic region, so temperatures will soar later on today, probably reaching 95 degrees in a good part of the I-95 corridor region from D.C. to Baltimore to Philadelphia. Even New York City can get up to 95 degrees. And again, that will really help to destabilize the atmosphere this afternoon, leading to intensifying the nature of showers and thunderstorms that should start to form during the late morning, midday, early afternoon hours. Well, here is a forecast loop of the CAPE value here from last night's 0-Z run of the GFS. Basically, we're looking at these areas in purple here. And again, this is what we call convective available potential energy, just to measure the instability in the troposphere. And you can see here we start off the day here with some slight values, some slightly unstable air already this morning. Then we get to the midday and just take a look at how that really explodes. In other words, the atmosphere destabilizes quite dramatically during the late morning, midday, early afternoon hours. These shades of purple represent the CAPE values here. We saw a moment ago that we were generally at 1,000 or lower, so by the midday we're all the way up here to 2,000 or higher here in much of the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, this is a representation of the destabilization of the atmosphere. With those temperatures soaring over the next few hours, it'll quickly destabilize, and while the radar right now shows really no shower or thunderstorm activity, that will change dramatically as well by the time we get to the midday. Then we get into the late afternoon, early evening hours, and when you start to lose that daytime, the effects of the daytime heating, the atmosphere becomes more stable. So the main threat for severe weather likely, let's say, roughly 2 p.m. all the way to about 8 p.m. or so, kind of the usual time frame. Then we get into the overnight hours and things calm down again. But on Wednesday afternoon, picks right back up again, especially south of the Mason-Dixon line, in places like D.C. to the Delmarva Peninsula. A pretty good chance tomorrow afternoon of strong to severe thunderstorm activity as well. And that could even extend up into southeastern Pennsylvania. We'll just have to take a look at that tomorrow morning. But again, for this afternoon, the atmosphere will quickly destabilize and you'll see an outbreak of showers and thunderstorms on the radar, and then they'll increase in intensity and coverage as well as they start to slide to the east from the central and western mid-Atlantic towards the I-95 corridor. Well, I mentioned up front one of the factors here, in addition to a slow-moving surface frontal system, is an upper-level trough. And you kind of see it here on the 500 millibar vorticity field forecast map here, again using the 0Z run of the GFS. Here we are starting off the day here on Tuesday. Then we get into the midday hours, and finally by the early evening hours here. You can see this little dip right here. There actually is what we call a short wave, a wave in the upper part of the atmosphere, even some vorticity showing up here right across that D.C., Baltimore, Wilmington, Philadelphia, New York City corridor. With this kind of a tropical air mass in place, all it takes is a short wave like this. Doesn't look dramatically strong or anything, but it doesn't take much here to set off the development of strong to severe thunderstorms and tropical downpours. Again, with the dew point so high here, tropical downpours are a decent bet for this afternoon into the evening hours. Any of these showers or thunderstorms can produce some flash flooding conditions here, especially given the fact that the grounds are already well saturated from recent rains. And we'll move forward here into the overnight hours, and that wave moves on by. But again, we get into the day on Wednesday, and you have a decent amount of spin in the atmosphere or vorticity in the atmosphere, again moving over the Middle Atlantic region during the midday hours and into the late afternoon. And this also represents the possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms on Wednesday afternoon and evening. And the humidity will remain high, so any shower or thunderstorm tomorrow night can also produce some heavy downpours in the region. Well, let's take a look at the surface forecast maps. Again, focus on the northeastern part of the nation. Here we begin the day here, not much showing up on radar right now, but we get to the midday and you'll start to see a breakout across central Pennsylvania, the central part of mid-Atlantic region, all the way out to the western part. That area of rain that slides the I-95 corridor region by the early evening, and this is where we can have some strong to severe thunderstorm activity right along this I-95 corridor. Again, we're talking mid to late afternoon all the way into the early to mid-evening hours, roughly 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. time frame. D.C., Baltimore, Wilmington, Philadelphia, New York City, Trenton as well. And again, there could be some strong storms all the way up to Boston and all the way down to the Carolinas later today into tonight. Then we go into the overnight hours. Things tend to settle down a little bit, maybe still lingering along the coastal sections. Go into the early morning, a more stable atmosphere to begin the day, but then you throw in some daytime heating and all of a sudden you get again kind of an explosion of showers and thunderstorms. This is the forecast map for late in the afternoon or early evening tomorrow night, and again the chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms, especially south of the Mason-Dixon line, south of that Pennsylvania-Maryland border, a place like northern Maryland, D.C., Delmarva Peninsula. But again, I think this threat can exist all the way up into the southeastern part of Pennsylvania, and it continues into the late night hours all along the Jersey coastline, Delmarva Peninsula. Certainly, tropical downpours a possibility as well later tomorrow into tomorrow night, and flash flooding will be a threat as well. We go into the overnight hours. Things calm down by Thursday morning. However, the unsettled weather pattern in the eastern part of the nation, including the Mid-Atlantic region, will continue on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with a continuing threat of afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms. But for later today and tonight, severe weather is a possibility, and tropical downpours can cause some flash flooding conditions, so be aware of that, and a kind of a repeat performance on Wednesday afternoon and evening. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.